Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Faust. This is Faust Talks. So, this was kind of going on in my head. To any of you that's lost a parent, I'm just surprised, like, how it affects other people that you wouldn't think it would, or as much. Just been going on in my head. I just been thinking about it. It's been like about 5-6 months since my mom died. She got sick and then got COVID on top of it, and that just made everything worse. And just like how all the studies and everything are, COVID's not the killer, COVID's just the catalyst that makes everything worse. And that's what happened. And I'm thinking, just like with my little guy, is that he was saying once that he doesn't like going over seeing my dad and my sisters because they all live together anymore. And I asked him why, and he said is that grandma's not there anymore. And grandma's the only one that ever talked to him. Everybody else just watches shows or just kind of ignores him. And it's just like, I'm just like, dude, that sucks. This just kind of made me feel sad just hearing that. And it's like, I really don't know how to do stuff like that, or just like respond to a little guy. I was little once, but I'm not little anymore. And all I can really do is just be supportive. That's what I've been doing. And I'm just talking with a buddy at work. This is the reason why I'm just bringing it up. Just a buddy at work. She's like cleaning up, finishing the work, and I'm just right there talking. And then the subject kind of came up about my family, so I started telling her about my family and everything, and she started asking a bit more questions. And it's about like, hey, like do you visit your family a lot? And it's like, I used to visit them like every other week or sometimes every week, stuff like that, because my mom was around. Because my family, I'll tell you the truth, my family, the only redeeming quality about them was my mom. And now that she's gone, there's nothing redeeming about it. So I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about them anymore. I don't want anything. It's like, dude, the only thing good about you guys died several months ago. And you wonder why I only come around once a month. And it just annoys me. Just how they are, things going on and stuff like that. And then she was asking like if I was close with my dad that's still around. It's like, no. Dude, straight up. My dad never wanted a boy. So he didn't tell me, but he let me know almost every damn day with his actions. He never wanted me around. So I grew up my whole life with that. And then, so I left soon as I could, went to the military, and I'm like, you know what, screw this. I can find my own family. Because sometimes the family you're born with is not the family for you, so you have to make it. That's what I tried doing. Found myself a nice little wifey, had great friends, battle brothers. It just and then after I got out of the military, had the little dude. Wifey decided she wasn't happy, so she did I'm not happy, so I'm going to take half your stuff and leave. But she didn't take half the stuff. She just left and said, screw you guys. I don't want to be married anymore, and I don't want a kid. Bye. Left. 6 months later, she came back wanting everything and wanting the little guy fully. We're talking about the little guy's 2 years old by this time, and it's like, dude, what the hell? So went to a court battle and all that different stuff, and then at the very end of it all is we got a new judge, and the new judge, literally the first day with the new judge looked at all the stuff, and then the new judge is like, dude, what the hell? You can't leave your family for 6 months to expect everything. You get visiting time. And then, and since she's a woman, she's gonna need money to survive. So you know what? There goes all my freaking stocks. It is pretty much like I kept the kid, and she took all the money, and then she left for about 2 years, or actually not even 2 years, probably 3 years, completely gone. Dude, she took fucking over damn near $2 million in stocks. And I was left with nothing, so I had to move back in with my parents. And then she came back 3 years later with not anything to show for it. And then she comes back married with some other guy, and then with a kid on the way. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? And it's just like, it just pissed me off. It's like, dude, you take all my money, you have nothing to show for it, and then now you come back, freaking the person I did care about taunting me like that. It's just like, yeah, years ago I did really care about it. Now I really don't. It's just kind of, just at the time, that's how I felt. Now I really don't care, because I actually saw who she truly was, and it's something not pretty. I'm glad that I am no longer with it, because I've had little red flags and flares of what she truly was, but did hide it from me. And then with the divorce and everything, she just showed me what was truly there. Like, yeah, she couldn't hide it all, and that's the reason why there was flares and red flags popping up. But now I see what it truly was. Now I'm a bit wiser, and I understand what a lot of these things are. Okay, and then came back, and then at that time, when she came back, I am working like crazy. I am busy. My parents are helping out, taking care of the little guy as much as they can. And then when Mama came back, is that she said she wanted to spend time and have a relationship. At that time, I'm desperate for help. So I allowed her. Because it's like, you know what? You're the mom. You want to have a relationship with him now. It would have been better if you would have done it earlier. But now you want it. So, you know what? See him. Spend time with him. Take your 48 hours a week. Which, yeah, legally she only gets 48 hours a week. But the thing is, now she watches him whenever I'm at school, whenever I'm at work, whenever I can't support little guy. Little guy is 10 now, so he doesn't need that much help anymore. But still, little guy. And Mama sees him quite a lot, and he sees me quite a lot, which is good. Okay, but... And then little guy was 9 when Grandma died for him, my mom. So, he was 9, and then when she died, I was there. I was the one holding the hands. And then it's just like, okay, I dealt with it. I worked. I dealt with it on my own. And just like what really took me for the heart was when little guy said he doesn't like going there because Grandma used to talk to him. It just makes me so sad. It's like, yeah, he's my little guy, my mini-me. But then saying that is like, dude, yeah, Grandma was great. And then he's starting to realize why I don't like the rest of my other family, my dad and my sisters. Is he starts seeing it as like, okay, yeah, they are horrible people. They are shitty people. Grandma was the only thing that was redeeming about all of it. So yeah, I don't spend time with them anymore. I don't want to spend time with them. Because all they are is just people that hold you back and put you down. And it's like, why do you need people like that in your life? Unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck because I do need their help a bit. If I had more money, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But it just is one of those things is that I had great potential, great things going on. Hell, before COVID, I actually had a little trucking business of my own. I had 5 trucks, 4 workers, 1 office gal, and then I paid a buddy like every quarter, just like he did it on the cheap side to just do my taxes and everything. So I paid him as contract work. He's an accountant. And then I was actually in the process of training a manager to do everything. It's like, hey, you can do all this stuff, and then I do some driving sometimes when I'm bored and need to work, or just want to work in general. And then I had the manager manage everything, and I'm the boss. I owned it. It was my company. Had a little warehouse where I got where I did overflow for many different companies. Is like Staples, FedEx. No, not FedEx. Yeah, FedEx, Source, Cantina, Office Max, like things like that. Most of my business was I was delivering stuff to the heart of Denver, and we're just going to buildings, giving office supplies to many of the businesses that are in the office buildings, and then also resupplying some food stuff. So yeah, it was some decent money. We were making some good money, good stuff. I was doing great. The guys were actually I was actually started raising the guys' pay just because we were getting enough business. Everyone was able to keep up, and it's like, dude, I actually have enough money. I can give you guys more. And when I started giving the guys more money, guess what? They worked harder and they worked faster. Seriously, I gave my guys more money and they started working even more. It was amazing. It's like, oh shit, if I knew you guys would literally increase your percentage by over 25% by giving you $2 extra, I would have done this earlier. Yeah, like seriously. And I'm talking about that was damn near a permanent increase of or whatever it's called, of their productivity. Nearly a permanent increase. Yeah, it was like a bit later, their pay did, like, their productivity went down probably about like 5%, 5 to 7%, but still it went up and they worked harder. It's like, shit, I would have done that earlier. So they were all making, like, at the time they're making $18. It's like, dude, yeah, I raised you guys up from 16 to 18 and you guys worked this much harder. Damn, I would have done that so much earlier. And then, yeah, so making more money, I was actually going to move to a bigger warehouse because we were getting a lot more business. I was actually going to get another truck, maybe 2, and hire 2 more guys. And then I had the manager, I'm training the manager to do my work. So I technically really didn't have to work anymore. And things were going great. I'm like, shit, dude. I'm literally at the point of where I don't have to work anymore. And then COVID hit. And then suddenly, within a month and a half span, is that I lost all the contracts. Like, not lost the contracts, just that they could not supply me anything. Is all the contracts like, hey, we're not getting enough of this, we're not getting this, we're not getting that. And it's just like I started losing everything. and it was still at the time period before everyone started buying shit like crazy from Amazon and UPS and through FedEx and everything, before everyone started buying everything online like crazy. it was right before that time period happened, and then I had no more work for my guys. It was literally, I told them, it's like, hey, I have no work. So within 2 weeks, I'm like, guys, I'm not going to be able to give you guys work because I have no work coming in. And then so I told the guys, hey, find a little side job, something to support yourself. So 2 weeks from that point is I'm like, dude, I'm going to have to shut down. I'm not making any money. Yeah, so my warehouse was empty too because no one was supplying stuff, giving stuff, like sending me their stuff. So because of the COVID thing, and then some of the stuff that the presidency brought out saying like, hey, you can close down, or hey, like certain contracts, things like that you can end. So I ended up ending the lease of the warehouse. And then I told my guys I can't give them work anymore, but because of how this crazy stuff and it's not ending, so I actually sent them away with a month's pay. It's like, hey, all I can do is give you 1 month's pay. After that is you guys are on your own. So they all left with 1 month's pay. And then I sold off the trucks, got rid of the lease, and then I literally was just, I paid off all the debt that I could, and I paid off a lot of it. And then I'm just left with some money where I could live off. I pretty much lived off of that money for damn near a year without work. And then at the very end of it, I was like, dude, I need to find a job. So I found myself a job, and then I've been working at this job for over, since pretty much a year after COVID started. And I'm doing good. Well, I could be doing better. I could still have had my own business. I could have been living off that. Okay. Just wondering if my car was locked or not. And tried my best to do what I can. And then with everything, inflation and the cost of rent going up, I'm at an uncertain time. So I've been working a lot of extra overtime. I'm actually trying to find another job that pays me more, and trying to find a few side hustles, because I want my side hustle to become my main job. Like with the delivery, I used to do that as a small little side hustle while I was working for another company doing delivery. And then a great opportunity came in where my manager was actually looking for a small little company to help out with overflow orders and just overflow work. And I told him, it's like, hey, I could do that. And he's like, hey, if you can get yourself a truck, and I can get you the contract. So got myself a truck, and a cheap little truck from Penske's, like one of their old ones they're trying to get rid of. Penske's are yellow, something like that. Bought one of their little trucks, and then started working from there. And then the next thing to next, I started having other companies coming to me and asking, like, hey, can you do our overflow? You're doing pretty good. And then I'm like, okay, I have so much work, I can't do this alone. So that's when it's like, okay, I'm going to buy I'm going to hire someone to be my partner to help me out in this so we can move faster. And then, yeah, sorry, I'm doing a few things at once. My brain's kind of split. And then we can do a few things at once, and then after that, what am I talking about? So yeah, I hired him so we can do multiple things at once. And then after a little bit, I bought a truck. because it's like, dude, it's too much for a crew of 2 people in a truck. So I got another truck and we started splitting the deliveries. We did well. We actually did really well. We made some decent money. We did all the deliveries, and then it was just so much better and faster just having us 2 doing work like that. And then we started getting more busier with more contracts coming in, more overflow. And then we're just like, okay. I told the guys, like, hey, I'm going to hire someone else to help us out. Because, like, we weren't partners. It was just that, well, we weren't business partners at that level, but we were work partners because the guy was a little bit of an older dude, a little bit older than me, about like 10 years older. And he used to be a delivery driver too. And started, I asked him for many questions because the guy was a smart fellow. So I was telling him, it's like, hey, I'm thinking about hiring someone else. We're getting a lot of work. And he's like, yes, please hire someone. We are a little bit too busy. Like, we can't do all our deliveries in a day. And then so I hired another guy. Things were going great. Got busier. Hired a 4th dude. So I had 4 guys working under me. So I had 4 guys working under me. We're working. So it was like a 5-man crew. And then I started noticing it slowed down a little bit. It was still enough that where all the guys have work. It's just that I started noticing it's like, hey, I can, like, since it's slowing down a little bit, I can actually stay in the office, do some work. So started doing some work. Like, I had that business for 2 years. So started doing some work, office work. And then I spent about like 9 months in there working. And then that's when it's like, you know what? I'm going to hire a manager. And then I also noticed too that business was picking up a bit more. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to probably get a truck or 2 just so I had a few more guys. And then hire a manager so the manager can do all the work that I'm currently doing right now. It was, well, not all the work, but a part of it. It was mostly for, like, the crew, taking care of the crew, helping them out. And then I would do some of the business work where he would do half the business work and deal with all the crew work. And then I would do the other half of the business work. And then I'm like, hey, I don't have to really work anymore. I just work half the time, or I just like probably go in twice a week, do some work, and then leave. And it's like, dude, I have a business making me money where I don't have to work for it anymore. And then right before that happened, fucking COVID killed everything. But yeah, so that's a little rant about my life and story and things that happened. But I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And remember, always love the Cal-Lown, homie.